The mining station of Raven's Edge floated like a lonely spark in the dark. It was not a grand colony or a shining city. It was a working place, built by humans to dig rare metals from an asteroid belt. Most people who lived there were workers, engineers, or guards. They did their jobs quietly, hoping to earn money and one day leave for a better world. Among them was Marcus, a man of simple habits. He was not a soldier or a leader. He fixed machines, loaded cargo, and kept the heavy drills running. People said he was steady, the kind of person who did his work without complaint. Marcus did not dream of fame. He wanted only peace and a small life far from trouble. But trouble came anyway. It began with the sound of alarms. Red lights flashed across the metal halls, and the voice of the station commander echoed over the speakers. Warning! Unknown ships approaching. All hands prepare for emergency. Marcus dropped the tool he was holding. His hands shook slightly. Raiders often prowled the edge of space, and everyone knew what they wanted: resources, supplies, and captives. Few stations survived such attacks without damage. He ran through the narrow passageways, heading toward the shelter zone. Dozens of workers crowded the halls. Some cried, others shouted. The walls trembled as distant explosions shook the station. Marcus pressed forward, trying to stay calm. As he passed one of the lower decks, he heard a sound that cut through the noise: a high, frightened cry. It was not the cry of a grown worker but of a child. Marcus froze. Children were rare on the mining station. Families usually avoided such dangerous places. Yet the cry came again, filled with fear. Without thinking, Marcus turned away from the crowd. He followed the sound down a half-collapsed corridor. Smoke stung his eyes, and sparks jumped from broken wires. The floor was littered with metal panels. He moved carefully, searching. Then he saw her. A small figure was trapped beneath a fallen beam. She was not human. Her skin shone with a pale silver glow, and her eyes were wide, dark, and filled with terror. Strange markings curved across her arms like natural tattoos. She could not have been more than 8 or 9 years old, at least by human guess. Marcus's breath caught. An alien child. What was she doing here? The beam above her creaked, ready to fall again. The child whimpered and raised her hands as if to shield herself. Marcus's body moved before his mind did. He rushed forward, crouched, and shoved his shoulder under the beam. With a deep growl, he pushed upward, muscles straining. The weight was crushing, but slowly he managed to lift the beam high enough to pull the child out. "Come on, little one. Crawl out," he said in a steady voice. The girl obeyed, dragging herself free. Her silver hair was messy, and her thin clothes were torn. Once she was clear, Marcus let the beam fall with a heavy clang. His arms burned with pain, but he ignored it. The child stared at him, trembling. She spoke words in a language Marcus did not know. They were soft, filled with fear. "I don't understand you," Marcus said gently. "But you're safe now. Stay with me." The station shook again, and dust rained from the ceiling. Marcus grabbed the girl's hand. She flinched at first, then clung to him tightly. Together they moved through the broken corridor, dodging falling pipes and sparks. When they reached the main hall, they found it in chaos. Smoke rolled across the floor. Workers rushed toward the shelters. Armed raiders in dark suits stormed through the passages, shouting orders in harsh voices. Marcus pulled the child behind a cargo crate. His heart pounded. If the raiders found her, they would take her. She was clearly important, though Marcus did not yet know how. One of the raiders passed close. His helmet glowed red, and his weapon scanned the shadows. Marcus held his breath, pressing the girl close. The raider paused, then turned away, chasing another group of workers. Marcus exhaled slowly. We have to move. He guided the girl through side paths, using his memory of the station. She stayed close, her hand gripping his arm with surprising strength. Despite the danger, Marcus felt a strange calm. Protecting her gave him focus. At last they reached a small service tunnel. It led to the maintenance bay, far from the main attack. Marcus opened the hatch, lifted the girl inside, and crawled after her. The narrow tunnel echoed with the distant sounds of battle, but here they were hidden. The girl sat quietly, hugging her knees. Her dark eyes stared at Marcus, filled with a mix of fear and trust. She spoke again in her unknown language, her voice soft this time. I don't know what you're saying, Marcus replied, but you're going to be all right. He tore a strip from his sleeve and tied it around a cut on her arm. She winced but did not pull away. For a long moment, they sat in the dim light of the tunnel. Marcus wondered who she was, where she came from, and why she was on a human station. None of it mattered now. She was a child in danger, and he had chosen to protect her. Outside, the battle raged on. The mining station shook with every blast, but inside the tunnel, one human and one alien child clung to survival together. After the chaos of the raid, Marcus and the alien child hid in the quiet maintenance bay. The sound of alarms and explosions was distant now, but the tension remained. Marcus could feel it in every corner of his body. He had saved her, but he did not know who she was or what danger still followed them. The girl huddled close to him, her silver hair catching the dim light. Her dark eyes watched him with a mixture of fear and curiosity. Marcus tried to speak to her, but she only shook her head. Her words were strange, soft, and musical, impossible for him to understand. I need to find out who you are, Marcus said gently. Can you tell me your name? The girl hesitated. Then she whispered a single word, Lyra. Marcus repeated it slowly. Lyra. Okay, Lyra. That's a good name. You're safe with me. Lyra nodded slightly but did not speak again. She pressed herself closer, her small hands gripping his arm. Marcus could feel her trembling. He looked around the maintenance bay. Broken tools and spare parts were scattered everywhere. The bay was small but secure. If the raiders came looking, they would not find them easily here. Marcus sat down on a crate and tried to calm his own thoughts. Who was this child? Why was she on a human mining station? She did not look like any human Marcus had ever seen. Her skin had a pale silver glow, and her eyes were unusually dark. There were strange markings on her arms, like natural designs etched into her skin. Marcus had never seen anything like it. He remembered the raiders. They had attacked without warning and moved quickly through the station. Did they want the child? Or was she simply caught in the wrong place at the wrong time? Marcus did not know, but he knew one thing. Someone powerful must care about her, and it was clear she was important. Marcus decided to take her to a safer place. He knew of a hidden shuttle in the lower hangar. It was small, meant for emergencies. If they could reach it, they could escape the station and find a place to hide until he understood the situation better. He helped Lyra to her feet. She did not resist, though she looked worried. He guided her through service corridors, avoiding the main paths where raiders could still be. Each step was careful. Each corner could hide danger. But Marcus moved with determination. He could not let anything happen to her. As they walked, Marcus tried to make her feel safe. He spoke softly about small things, machines, stars, and the quiet beauty of space. Lyra listened, occasionally glancing at him. She seemed to understand his tone, even if she did not understand the words. Finally, they reached the shuttle bay. The small craft sat among larger mining ships. Its hatch was closed, but Marcus had worked on these ships enough to know how to open it. He lifted Lyra into the shuttle first, then climbed in himself. The engines were old but functional. Marcus powered up the controls and guided the shuttle away from the station. Outside, he saw the station still under attack. Explosions lit the dark space like fireworks, and clouds of smoke drifted slowly away. Lyra stared through the small window, her expression unreadable. She did not speak, but Marcus felt her curiosity growing. Once they were far from the station, Marcus set the shuttle to drift. There was no hurry. They were safe, at least for now. He turned to her. "You can rest a little," he said. "I'll keep watch." Lyra sat quietly. She did not lie down, but she closed her eyes. Marcus watched her carefully. Her breathing was calm but shallow. He wondered what she had gone through, what fears she carried. Hours passed in silence. Marcus thought about the child's future. She was clearly not human. That meant that if she returned to her world, it might be dangerous for her to stay among humans. And yet, she had nowhere else to go at the moment. Marcus made a silent promise. He would protect her, no matter what. As they drifted, a strange feeling filled the shuttle. It was not danger, exactly, but a presence. Marcus sensed it before he saw it. Then, on the small display screen, he noticed a large alien ship approaching. Its design was unlike any human craft. Sleek and massive, with lights that glowed like stars. Marcus tensed. He did not know if it was friendly or hostile. He moved closer to Lyra, ready to protect her. The shuttle's sensors confirmed that the ship was intercepting them. It was following their path steadily. Suddenly, a calm voice came through a small communication panel. It spoke in a language Marcus did not understand. Then it switched to basic, the common language of humans and many aliens. "Human. Do not harm the child. She is under my protection." Marcus froze. The voice was firm but not aggressive. The words carried authority. Somehow, he knew this was not a raider or enemy. "Who are you?" Marcus asked carefully. "And why do you care about her?" "I am Queen Serena," the voice replied. "The child you have is my daughter, Lyra. You have saved her life. For that, you have my gratitude. Remain where you are. Do not be afraid." Marcus's mind raced. The girl in front of him was not just a lost alien child. She was the daughter of a queen. A queen. He had saved someone who was extremely important, far beyond anything he could have imagined. Lyra's eyes widened at the mention of her mother. She looked at Marcus, then at the approaching ship. Something in her posture changed. She seemed relieved, though still cautious. Marcus took a deep breath. "I did not know," he said. "I only wanted to save her." "You acted with honor," the voice said. "That is all that matters. Stay where you are. I will come to you." The communication ended. Marcus looked at Lyra. She clung to him tightly. He smiled, trying to ease her fear. "We are going to be all right," he said. Your mother knows we are here. She will protect us. For the first time since the raid, Marcus felt hope. The child's life was no longer in immediate danger. But he also realized that this simple act of saving her would change everything. Humans and aliens were about to meet in ways he had never imagined. And he, a simple worker from a mining station, had become part of a story much larger than himself. He looked at Lyra and whispered, "We will face whatever comes next, together." Lyra nodded. She still did not speak much, but her small hand rested on his arm. Marcus understood. Trust had begun between them. And in the vast darkness of space, trust was sometimes the most powerful weapon of all. The alien ship moved gracefully through the darkness of space. Its surface glowed faintly with silver and blue lights, reflecting the stars around it. Inside, the corridors were wide and smooth. Marcus felt a mix of awe and nervousness as he watched from the shuttle window. He had never seen anything like this. Humans had ships, but this was something entirely different. Lyra, the small alien child, stayed close to him. Her breathing was steady now, but her eyes were wide. She had never seen her mother arrive in such a dramatic way. Marcus could sense her excitement and fear. The communication panel lit up again. Queen Serena's calm voice came through, soft but filled with authority. "Human," she said. "Prepare to be boarded. I will meet you shortly. You have my thanks, and you have earned my respect." Marcus swallowed. "Understood," he replied. He felt the weight of responsibility pressing on him. He had saved a child, and now a queen was coming to meet him. The thought made his heart race, but he stood tall. He had no choice but to face whatever came next. The shuttle's door hissed as it was opened from the outside. A glowing ramp extended toward them, and a smooth force guided Marcus and Lyra inside the alien ship. Marcus's first steps on the deck were careful. The floor seemed almost alive, shining under his feet. The walls were lined with strange symbols that pulsed faintly with light. Lyra held his hand tightly. She seemed less afraid now, as if her mother's presence was giving her courage. Marcus followed her, leading the way through the silent corridors. Finally, they reached a grand chamber. The room was vast, taller than any human building. Light filled the space, soft and warm, yet powerful. At the center stood Queen Serena. She was tall, her skin shimmering silver like her daughter's. Her eyes were deep and wise, showing the weight of countless years and experience. Marcus felt small in her presence, but he held his ground. Lyra ran forward and embraced her mother. Queen Serena's expression softened as she knelt and hugged her child. The moment was filled with emotion, a mother reunited with her daughter. Then the queen turned her gaze to Marcus. He noticed how sharp and observant her eyes were. They studied him not with suspicion but with interest. "You are the human who saved my daughter," she said. Her voice was calm but carried authority. "Your courage has crossed boundaries of worlds. Few humans would risk their life for another species." Marcus nodded. "I only did what anyone should do," he replied. "She was in danger. I could not leave her." Queen Serena's lips curved in a slight smile. "Few speak with such humility. Yet your actions prove your worth. You have honor, human." Marcus felt a mixture of pride and disbelief. He had never thought of himself as special. He had only tried to do the right thing. But the Queen's words made him realize that even small actions could have great importance. Lyra clung to Marcus for a moment before letting go. She looked up at her mother and then back at him. Her dark eyes shone with gratitude. Marcus felt a bond forming between them that went beyond fear or danger. It was trust, and he knew it was rare. The Queen motioned for Marcus to follow her. She led him through the ship, showing him the alien technology, the people, and the ways their world operated. Everything was different from human life. The crew moved gracefully, speaking in soft tones. Machines worked silently, controlled by a combination of skill and advanced technology. Queen Serena explained in simple language. Our people are explorers, defenders, and scholars. We have faced challenges across many star systems. Yet courage and honor are always valued, no matter the species. Marcus listened carefully. He felt a growing respect for this civilization. They were strong, intelligent, and wise. And they were capable of great kindness, as shown by the Queen herself. Finally, they reached a quiet observation deck. Through the wide glass, Marcus could see the mining station still smoldering in the distance. It was small, insignificant compared to the massive alien ship, yet it had changed his life forever. You have risked much for a single life, Queen Serena said. That life is my daughter. For that, you have my gratitude. You will always have my protection and my respect. Marcus nodded. I only wanted to help. I did not think about gratitude or protection. I just could not leave her behind. The Queen's expression softened. Your honesty and courage are rare. Many humans speak of honor, but few demonstrate it. You have shown both. That is why you are here with us now. Lyra ran ahead and looked out the window at the stars. Marcus followed, standing beside her. The silence was peaceful, a calm after the storm. He realized that the danger was not over, but at this moment, everything felt right. Queen Serena watched them, her gaze thoughtful. She had expected gratitude, perhaps caution, but not this connection. The human before her had saved her child, yes, but he had also shown qualities that were remarkable: courage, humility, and empathy. Traits she valued above all. Marcus, she said, finally using his name, I do not ask much of those who enter my world. But I do ask that you remain true to yourself. Protect my daughter if you can, and you will have my favor. That is all I require. Marcus bowed slightly, feeling the weight of her words. I will do my best, he said. I promise I will keep her safe. The Queen nodded. Good. That is enough. For the first time, Marcus realized the full meaning of his actions. Saving a child had not only protected a life but had also earned the trust of a queen. He felt a quiet pride, but more importantly, a strong sense of responsibility. Lyra turned to him, her small hand brushing his arm. Marcus smiled gently. She did not need words. The trust between them was clear, stronger than any language could express. Queen Serena watched them both, silently approving. She understood that the bond between Marcus and her daughter was unique. It was more than gratitude, it was a connection built on courage and compassion. And she knew that humans, despite their limitations, could achieve greatness when their hearts were guided by honor. Marcus took a deep breath, looking out at the stars. The journey ahead would not be easy, but he was no longer alone. He had the child he saved beside him, and he had the respect of a queen. For the first time, he felt the weight of his choices, but also the hope that he could rise to meet them. In the vastness of space, one simple act of courage had changed the course of many lives. Marcus understood that this was only the beginning. After the initial meeting, Marcus remained aboard Queen Serena's ship. The atmosphere was calm but filled with curiosity. Every human step he took was watched with interest by the alien crew. Marcus felt both nervous and proud. He had never imagined that a simple act of saving a child could bring him to the heart of an alien civilization. Lyra stayed close to him. She had grown more comfortable in his presence. Her small hand often brushed against his arm, a silent gesture of trust. Marcus smiled gently at her. Even though they could not speak the same language fluently, they understood each other. Protection, care, and kindness needed no words. Queen Serena called Marcus to the central chamber, a place of quiet authority. The room was larger than any hall on a human station. Soft lights reflected off the polished walls, illuminating strange symbols that pulsed faintly. The queen stood tall at the center, her silver skin shimmering with every movement. Lyra sat nearby, watching her mother carefully. "Marcus," Queen Serena began, her voice calm but commanding, "you have done more than most humans would ever consider. You risked your life for my daughter without hesitation. That is a rare gift in this universe." Marcus nodded, unsure how to respond. "I did what anyone would do," he said humbly. "I could not leave her in danger. She is just a child." The queen studied him. "Few would say the same. Most would act out of fear or for reward. Your actions show honor and courage. For this, I offer you a gift." Marcus's heart raced. A gift from a queen was not a simple thing. He wondered what it could be. Wealth, land, or power. He felt nervous about receiving anything so grand, but he waited silently, respecting her words. "You may choose," the queen continued. "Protection from my people, safe passage across the stars, and resources to live freely. Or you may request knowledge and skill that can benefit you and others. Your choice will be granted." Marcus thought for a moment. He did not want treasure or power. He wanted only to protect Lyra and ensure her safety. "I only ask for the ability to keep her safe," he said. "Nothing else matters." Queen Serena's expression softened. "Your choice is wise. True honor is in selflessness, not reward. You will have what you need to protect her, and more. My warriors will train you, my knowledge will guide you, and my people will respect your position." Lyra looked at Marcus and smiled softly. Her dark eyes shone with a mixture of relief and trust. Marcus realized that this small gesture meant everything to her. She knew he would do everything he could to keep her safe. Over the next days, Marcus began to learn about the alien civilization. Their technology was advanced, yet their culture valued honor, trust, and knowledge. He trained with the Queen's warriors, learning how to move silently, defend himself, and understand alien tools. He was not a soldier, but he adapted quickly. His human instincts, courage, and determination made him a capable guardian. Queen Serena observed quietly during these lessons. She noticed his patience, his careful attention, and his determination. Other humans might have rushed, grown frustrated, or doubted themselves. Marcus did none of these. He acted with thought and care, showing respect to her people while learning their ways. One evening, Marcus found himself on the observation deck with Lyra. Stars stretched endlessly around them. The alien ship glided silently through space, powerful and serene. Lyra pointed to a cluster of distant planets, her small fingers tracing imaginary paths. "Do you miss your home?" Marcus asked gently. Lyra shook her head slightly. She could not speak many human words, but her expression said enough. She felt safe with him. Marcus realized that his presence had given her more than protection, it had given her confidence and comfort in a frightening universe. The Queen joined them quietly. She did not speak immediately. Instead, she watched Marcus and Lyra. The bond between them was evident. It was not just protection or duty, it was trust and care that went deeper than words. "Marcus," Queen Serena said finally, "you have proven yourself not only to me but to my daughter. You understand courage, loyalty, and honor in ways that many of my own people struggle to achieve. You are more than a guardian. You are a part of this family now." Marcus felt a strange warmth in his chest. He had never been praised in such a way. Humans were proud of courage, but this recognition from an alien queen carried weight and meaning he had never experienced. "I will do my best," Marcus said quietly. "I only wish to protect her." "That is enough," the queen replied. "Your actions speak louder than any words. Your presence here ensures that my daughter's life is safe, and that is all I ask." Days turned into weeks, and Marcus adapted further to life aboard the alien ship. He learned the ways of their technology, how to communicate with the crew, and how to understand subtle signals in the environment. His human adaptability proved useful. The aliens were impressed by his ability to think quickly and act decisively. Lyra continued to grow comfortable around him. She followed him through training, laughed quietly at small jokes he made, and sometimes even mimicked his movements as they practiced self-defense exercises. The bond between them was strengthening, unspoken but undeniable. Marcus realized that his life had changed entirely in these short weeks. One day, Queen Serena called Marcus into the central chamber again. This time, she carried no weapons or tools. She simply looked at him with a calm but intense gaze. "Marcus," she said, "you have done more than anyone could ask. You have saved my daughter, adapted to our ways, and shown honor beyond expectation. I do not offer this lightly, but I wish for you to remain with us, not as a servant or a guest, but as someone I trust completely. You will be a part of this family if you choose." Marcus felt his heart beat faster. This was more than protection or skill, it was acceptance. He had gone from a simple miner to someone trusted by a queen and loved by a child. "I will stay," he said finally, with quiet determination. "As long as Lyra needs me, I will stay." Queen Serena nodded, her expression softening. She turned to Lyra, who clapped her small hands in quiet joy. Marcus smiled down at her, feeling a sense of purpose he had never known before. That night, as the alien ship drifted silently through the stars, Marcus looked at the child and queen who had changed his life. He knew challenges lay ahead, threats that would test his courage and loyalty. But for the first time, he felt ready. He had honor, purpose, and trust. And in the vastness of space, those qualities would guide him through whatever came next. Life aboard Queen Serena's ship was unlike anything Marcus had ever experienced. Every day brought new lessons, new discoveries, and new challenges. The ship was not just a vessel, it was a living network of knowledge, protection, and culture. Marcus felt both awe and responsibility as he walked its wide corridors, Lyra always close by his side. The alien crew had grown accustomed to him. At first, they watched him cautiously, unsure of a human among them. But Marcus's humility and courage earned their respect. He listened carefully, followed instructions, and showed genuine care for Lyra. Slowly, they began to see him as more than a human visitor, they saw him as an ally. Marcus spent mornings training with the Queen's warriors. They taught him techniques to move silently, defend himself, and anticipate threats. He was not a soldier, but he learned quickly. His human instincts, determination, and courage made him capable in ways even the aliens admired. Lyra watched these sessions with wide eyes. She tried to copy some movements, laughing quietly when she stumbled. Marcus smiled at her effort. "Keep trying," he said softly. "You will learn quickly." She looked up at him, her dark eyes shining. Even without words, Marcus understood her gratitude. She trusted him completely, and that trust strengthened his resolve. Protecting her was no longer just an action, it was a bond, unspoken yet undeniable. One afternoon, the Queen called Marcus to the observation deck. Stars stretched endlessly in every direction, and distant planets shone like jewels. The alien ship glided silently, a silver giant moving gracefully through the cosmos. Lyra followed, holding his hand. She leaned against him quietly, her small presence a comfort amidst the vast emptiness. "Marcus," Queen Serena began, "you have done more than I could have expected. You care for my daughter as if she were your own. That is rare among your species. Humans often act out of fear, selfishness, or duty, but you act with honor and compassion. That is why I trust you." Marcus bowed his head slightly. "I only wish to keep her safe. That is all I want." The Queen's eyes softened. "Your actions speak louder than words. The bond you share with Lyra is growing. It is not only protection but understanding, respect, and care. These qualities are important. They strengthen both of you and will guide your path together." Lyra clung to Marcus's side, and he gently placed a hand on her shoulder. He felt a warmth in his chest, a sense of purpose he had never known. Protecting her was no longer just duty, it was personal. Days passed with more training and lessons. Marcus learned the alien language, enough to communicate basic thoughts. He learned their customs, their strategies, and their ways of thinking. It was fascinating and challenging. He realized that humans could adapt, and that courage combined with learning could build bridges between worlds. Lyra grew more confident too. She followed him during exercises, helped him with simple tasks, and sometimes guided him in ways only a child could. Marcus admired her intelligence and curiosity. She was small but observant, and she had a quiet strength that impressed him. One evening, as they walked through the ship's quiet corridors, a sudden alarm sounded. Marcus tensed immediately. Lyra looked up at him, fear flickering in her eyes. "Stay calm," he whispered. "We will see what this is." They followed the sound to a central control room. Crew members were moving quickly but not in panic. Marcus realized that the alarm was a routine test, not an actual threat. Still, he appreciated the training. It reminded him that even in peace, vigilance was important. The Queen joined them in the control room. She observed quietly as Marcus assisted the crew in managing the situation. He moved confidently, understanding the technology faster than expected. The crew began to trust him more, nodding in approval at his decisions. "Marcus," Queen Serena said after the alarm ended, "you learn quickly and adapt well. That is the essence of what I hoped for. Humans can be unpredictable, but your courage and humility make you exceptional." Marcus felt a mixture of pride and humility. He was not a hero in the traditional sense, but he realized that his actions and care for Lyra had elevated him to a position of respect he had never imagined. Later that night, Marcus and Lyra sat on the observation deck. The stars shimmered like scattered diamonds. Lyra leaned against him quietly, no words needed. Marcus understood her thoughts without language. She felt safe, and he felt responsible. "You are brave," Marcus said softly. And you are smart. Together, we can face anything. Lyra's small hand rested on his arm. Marcus felt the bond between them deepen further. This was not just protector and child. It was trust, care, and a connection that went beyond words. The Queen watched silently from a distance. She recognized the growth in their relationship. Marcus had not only saved her daughter but had nurtured her confidence and sense of safety. The human had shown that courage, humility, and care could create bonds stronger than fear or politics. Days later, a new challenge arose. Scouts reported a distant threat approaching the sector. Marcus and the Queen's warriors prepared to defend the ship if needed. Lyra remained close to Marcus, her trust in him unwavering. "Marcus," Queen Serena said, "this will be your first real test in protecting my daughter in a critical situation. Remember what you have learned and stay true to yourself." Marcus nodded. "I will do everything I can. I promise." As the alien fleet approached, Marcus felt a surge of determination. He realized that courage was not only about facing danger but about standing firm for those who relied on him. Lyra looked at him, and in that silent glance, Marcus found strength. Together, they prepared for what lay ahead. Marcus understood that their bond was more than protection, it was trust, care, and mutual understanding. And in the vastness of space, that bond was a powerful force that could guide them through any challenge. That night, as the alien ship sailed quietly among the stars, Marcus and Lyra rested. The bond between them had grown stronger than ever. Marcus knew that whatever dangers awaited them, he would face them with courage and honor. He had learned that the greatest strength was not in weapons or technology, but in trust, loyalty, and the heart. The alien ship moved silently through space, but the calm was fragile. Scouts had detected a fleet approaching from a distant system. These ships were not friendly. They were raiders, seeking to capture or harm Lyra for their own power. Marcus felt a surge of tension as he stood beside Queen Serena on the observation deck. "Marcus," the Queen said, her silver eyes sharp, "this is the moment to show your courage. Protect my daughter. Show her and my people that your actions are not just words, but true commitment." Marcus nodded. He had trained, learned, and adapted. Now, the test would be real. Lyra stood close, holding his hand tightly. Her trust in him was absolute. He could not fail her. The raider ships appeared as dark silhouettes against the starfield. Their engines glowed red, aggressive, and threatening. The alien ship adjusted its shields, and crew members moved into battle positions. Marcus observed the controls, ready to help, even if it meant risking his life. "Stay behind me," Marcus whispered to Lyra. She nodded, her small hand gripping his arm. The first attack hit with a flash of light and a tremor through the ship. Marcus held steady, guiding Lyra to safety. The ship's defensive systems activated, repelling the initial blast, but more ships were approaching. The danger was real, and the moment of truth had come. Marcus moved through the corridors, assisting crew members in securing vital areas. His human instincts were quick, allowing him to anticipate where the raiders might strike next. He guided Lyra through safer routes while coordinating with the alien warriors. His actions were precise and calm, earning nods of respect from the crew. Suddenly, a raider ship broke through the outer defense and targeted the observation deck. Marcus positioned himself in front of Lyra, ready to act. His heart pounded, but he did not hesitate. The raiders were aggressive, their intent clear: they wanted to take the child. Marcus knew he had to prevent that at any cost. "Lyra, stay close," he said firmly. The raider attempted to board, and the Queen's warriors met them head-on. Marcus fought alongside them, using the skills he had learned in training. He was not as fast or as strong as the aliens, but his courage and quick thinking made a difference. He blocked paths, redirected attackers, and ensured Lyra remained safe. From the deck, Lyra watched in awe. Marcus was not just defending her, he was leading, protecting, and making sure no harm reached her. She realized that the human she had trusted was capable of facing dangers even the aliens feared. Queen Serena observed quietly. She had expected bravery, but Marcus's calm determination exceeded her expectations. His actions were not born from duty alone, they were born from care, trust, and genuine courage. As the battle intensified, Marcus noticed a vulnerable raider attempting to reach Lyra from a hidden route. Without hesitation, he moved swiftly, intercepting the threat. The raider was surprised by his speed and determination. Marcus pushed the attacker back, giving the alien warriors time to capture him. Lyra's small hand touched Marcus's arm, and he glanced down at her. Her eyes were wide with relief and admiration. In that moment, Marcus understood that protecting her was not just about defending life, it was about showing her strength, courage, and trustworthiness. The battle continued for several hours. The alien ship's shields held, the warriors fought bravely, and Marcus acted decisively at every turn. His presence inspired both Lyra and the crew. They saw a human who was not merely an outsider but a true ally, capable of standing beside them in the face of danger. Finally, the raiders retreated. Their ships pulled back, damaged and disorganized. The alien crew cheered quietly, acknowledging the victory. Marcus breathed deeply, knowing that the immediate threat had passed. Lyra hugged him tightly, and for the first time, Marcus allowed himself a small smile. Queen Serena approached. Her expression was calm but serious. "Marcus," she said, "you have proven yourself in the highest test of courage. Not only did you save my daughter, but you showed loyalty, quick thinking, and bravery. Many warriors would falter where you succeeded." Marcus bowed slightly. "I only did what I had to do," he replied. "Lyra's safety is my responsibility." The Queen nodded. "That is precisely why I trust you. You acted from the heart, not for reward or recognition. You have earned the respect of my people and my complete confidence." Marcus looked at Lyra. She was smiling softly, her trust in him unbroken. He realized that the bond they shared had grown stronger through danger and challenge. It was not just trust, it was mutual respect, care, and understanding. Queen Serena continued, "Your actions today demonstrate that humans are capable of extraordinary courage. They can rise to meet challenges when guided by honor and compassion. Marcus, you are no longer simply a guest on my ship. You are a trusted ally, a guardian of my daughter, and a part of this family." Marcus felt a sense of pride and responsibility. He understood that this trust was not something to be taken lightly. Protecting Lyra was more than a duty, it was a choice he made every day, and now he had proven that he could uphold it even in the most dangerous situations. Later, Marcus and Lyra returned to the observation deck. The stars stretched endlessly, peaceful and silent after the battle. Lyra leaned against him, her small presence a comforting reminder of why he had fought so hard. "You were very brave," Marcus said softly. "You saw how dangerous it was, and you trusted me. That trust makes me stronger." Lyra nodded, her dark eyes shining. She did not need words to show her gratitude. Marcus understood completely. Their bond had been tested by danger and had grown stronger because of it. Queen Serena watched them from a distance, a quiet pride in her expression. She understood that Marcus had passed not just a test of skill but a test of heart. Protecting life, showing courage, and earning trust were qualities that defined true strength. Marcus realized that his actions had changed the way humans were seen by the Queen and her people. He had shown that bravery and honor were not limited by species. In the vastness of space, even one human could make a difference. That night, as the ship sailed silently through the stars, Marcus reflected on the events of the day. The battle had tested him in ways he had never imagined. But he had faced the danger, protected Lyra, and earned the trust of a queen. He understood that courage, loyalty, and care were the most powerful forces in the universe. He looked at Lyra, sleeping peacefully beside him. He smiled gently. Whatever challenges lay ahead, he would face them. Not for reward, not for recognition, but because it was the right thing to do. Because he had chosen to protect her. The stars outside the ship shone quietly, a calm contrast to the battles that had recently shaken the sector. Marcus stood beside Lyra on the observation deck. She leaned against him, her small hands gripping his arm. After the recent conflict, there was a sense of relief, but also anticipation. Marcus knew that the peace would not last forever, yet he felt prepared for whatever came next. Queen Serena entered the observation deck. She moved with grace, her silver skin shimmering in the soft light. Her eyes, calm and wise, focused on Marcus. He straightened, aware that this meeting carried importance beyond words. "Marcus," the Queen began, her voice calm but firm, "you have shown courage, honor, and loyalty. You have faced danger to protect my daughter and proved yourself capable of standing beside my people. That is no small achievement." Marcus bowed slightly. "I did what I had to do," he replied. Lyra's safety was more important than anything else. Queen Serena's expression softened. "Exactly. That is why I wish to offer you something more than gratitude. You are no longer just a human who happened to save a child. You are a trusted companion, someone I want beside me, now and always." Marcus felt his heart skip a beat. He had not expected such words. To be trusted by a queen, to be considered a companion, was far beyond anything he had imagined when he first stepped aboard this alien ship. Lyra looked up at him with wide eyes, a small smile on her lips. She seemed to understand the meaning of the Queen's words better than Marcus did. She pressed herself closer to him, as if silently encouraging him to accept the responsibility. "Marcus," Queen Serena continued, "I am asking you to remain here, not out of obligation, but because I trust you completely. You will protect my daughter, guide her, and stand beside us as a guardian and friend. This is your choice, but I hope you will accept it." Marcus took a deep breath. He had faced battles, danger, and uncertainty, but this decision carried a different weight. Accepting meant staying in this alien world permanently. It meant taking responsibility not just for Lyra, but for the trust of an entire people. Yet when he looked at Lyra, he knew there was no other choice he could make. "I will stay," he said finally, his voice steady. "I will remain here as long as Lyra needs me. I promise to protect her and stand by your side." Queen Serena's eyes softened into a faint smile. "That is all I could ask. Your heart and actions have proven your worth. You are wanted here, not as a visitor, but as a part of this family." Lyra clapped her small hands quietly, a joyful sound that echoed in the vast observation deck. She ran to Marcus and hugged him tightly. Marcus held her gently, feeling the bond between them deepen further. It was no longer just trust or protection. It was a connection built on courage, care, and mutual respect. Over the next days, Marcus settled into his new role. He continued training with the Queen's warriors, learned more about the ship, and studied alien technology. But now, his motivation was not only duty. It was personal. He understood that every skill he learned, every action he took, directly affected the safety and happiness of the child he had saved. Lyra followed him everywhere, curious and eager to learn. Sometimes she mimicked his movements during training, sometimes she asked questions in her own language. Marcus laughed quietly, translating the best he could. He realized that teaching her, guiding her, and protecting her was becoming the most meaningful part of his life. Queen Serena watched quietly from a distance. She saw the bond that had grown between Marcus and her daughter. It was not just protection, it was guidance, trust, and care. The Queen recognized that this human had qualities far beyond what she had expected. Courage, humility, and compassion were rare traits, and Marcus had them in abundance. One evening, the Queen summoned Marcus and Lyra to a private chamber. The room was softly lit, filled with calm energy. Queen Serena stood in the center, her gaze steady. "Marcus," she said, "you have proven your courage and loyalty through action, and your heart through care. My people respect you, and I trust you completely. You have chosen to stay, not out of fear or reward, but because it is right. That is why I declare openly that you are wanted forever." Marcus felt the weight of her words. Wanted forever. The Queen was not offering riches or power, but something far greater: trust, respect, and belonging. For a simple human from a mining station, this was a life beyond imagination. "I accept," Marcus said quietly, his voice firm. "I will remain and protect Lyra, and I will stand with you." Queen Serena nodded. "Good. Your choice is honored, and your presence strengthens my people. You have shown that humans, though different, can rise to greatness through courage and care. That is why you are wanted forever." Lyra smiled brightly, running to his side. She hugged him tightly, and Marcus held her gently. The bond they shared had grown stronger than any fear, any challenge, or any distance between worlds. Days turned into weeks, and Marcus became an integral part of the alien ship. He guided Lyra through learning, trained with warriors, and assisted in maintaining the ship's systems. Every action he took reinforced the trust the Queen and her people had placed in him. He was no longer just a human visitor. He was a guardian, a companion, and a friend. Queen Serena often observed them from a distance, her eyes calm but thoughtful. She knew that the trust and bond between Marcus and Lyra were rare. Many leaders sought loyalty and courage, but Marcus offered something far greater: compassion, care, and understanding. One day, as they stood on the observation deck together, Lyra looked up at him and smiled. Marcus smiled back, feeling a warmth in his heart. He realized that his life had changed forever. He had gone from a miner on a small station to a guardian and trusted companion of a queen and her daughter. The stars stretched endlessly around them, silent witnesses to the bond that had grown stronger through danger, trust, and care. Marcus understood that the future would bring challenges, but he also knew that he was ready. With courage, honor, and the bonds he had formed, he could face anything. Queen Serena stepped beside them. She looked at Marcus with respect and quiet approval. "You have proven that greatness is not limited by species or origin. Courage, honor, and care define true strength. Marcus, you are wanted, needed, and respected. That is your place, now and forever." Marcus bowed slightly. "I will not fail," he said. I will protect Lyra, and I will stand with you. Always. The queen nodded. Lyra's small hand rested on his arm, and Marcus felt the depth of their connection. He understood that this was not just duty or obligation. It was trust, care, and the bond of a family forged in the stars. As the alien ship sailed silently through the cosmos, Marcus, Lyra, and Queen Serena stood together. The dangers of the universe remained, but Marcus knew that with courage, loyalty, and the bonds of trust, he could face whatever lay ahead. In the vastness of space, one human had proven that courage and care could create lasting bonds, earn respect, and change lives forever. Marcus had saved a child, faced dangers, and gained the trust of a queen. And in return, he was wanted forever. The stars continued to shine, a reminder that even in the endless darkness, courage, honor, and love could light the way. Marcus looked at Lyra, then at the queen, and knew that this was only the beginning of a new journey filled with trust, hope, and endless possibilities.